Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Rae. I'm your host, Lani, and I'm so excited for today's episode. When am I not? Oh my God. But we are having Liv Bowser, the owner and founder of Liberate Studio, which is actually the first mental fitness studio. She's a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher. She has personally felt and dealt with stress, loneliness, and anxiety. In her experiences, she has found tools to strengthen her mental muscles, a key to managing these emotions. We talk about everything from how she got into what she does, what she used to do, if it was something she always saw herself doing, and some tips and tricks for practicing mental fitness in your own lives, whether you're able to attend Liberate or not. I'm so excited for you to hear this episode, but until then, let's get into our weekly intention. So my weekly intention is to not get so caught up in the little things. I feel like I can get very obsessive over everything and anything, especially when it comes to the little things, and it can be really mentally draining and very emotionally draining. So my weekly intention is to encourage myself to not get so caught up in these little things and to focus on being present in the now instead of worrying about the past or the future. That leads me into the tip of my week. And the tip of the week is to journal to be able to release any feelings that I'm holding. I tend to withhold a lot of my feelings, which is why I go to therapy to try to release that and learn how to deal with them and to deal with my thoughts, my anxious thoughts, all of that stuff. So I want to really lean into my journaling practices. I got back into journaling last week and I'm going to use prompts to do so. Mind dumps are really helpful if you don't know where to start or you're not really a huge fan of prompts. But I'm going to be journaling to help release any feelings and to bring awareness to them so that I know how to mitigate and handle them and learn how to cope with those feelings in the future. That leads me into my current faves. These are a lot of fashion faves. Okay, I have 3 faves, but 2 of them are fashion. One of them you're going to be like, hold up, Lani, seriously, this is your current fave? But yeah, it is my current fave. So my first current fave are wide leg jeans. I've been loving my Princess Polly Holly asymmetrical jean. They're a really good dupe for the A Goldie asymmetrical jean. I love them. I have them in a light wash blue and this washed out black, sort of it's like a worn down black. It's not very opaque. I really like black jeans like that. And then I'm also very into, in particular, wearing those jeans with my platform high top Converse. They are black. Yes, I'm wearing black sneakers, but I absolutely love them. I love the height that I get from them. I love how they look with wide leg jeans or even these trouser pants that I have. I just think it's bomb. It adds a little bit of height. They're comfortable. They're cool. You can wear them with pretty much anything. You can put them on with a dress, a skirt, shorts, whatever may be. I absolutely love them. And this is my third favorite. You guys are actually going to be shocked. So let me know if you are shocked. Let me know if you're not shocked. Let me know if this is a current fave. I feel like this is maybe a lot of people's current faves right now with us coming out of the pandemic and everything opening, but it's bar hopping. It's a lot of fun exploring Toronto, going to different bars, trying different drinks, experiencing things with new friends, it's a lot of fun. And I encourage you to do so if you are of the legal drinking age in your country, but it is a lot of fun. I prefer bar hopping over clubbing. Clubs aren't really open, but bar hopping is fun. I I highly recommend you do so responsibly, but it's a lot of fun. And I encourage you to ask your bartender for recommendations for drinks and to try something new. That's how you get it spicy. But speaking of spice, I really want to try out a spicy margarita. Kayla, Be Well with Kayla has made me want to try one so bad. I don't think I've ever had one. So that is my next order that I will definitely be making when I am bar hopping or at dinner, whatever it may be. But I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm so excited for you to hear it, and I'm really excited for you to hear next week's episode. I have a whole bunch of life updates, and I think it's going to be a really fun episode, both this one and next week's. So if you aren't subscribed to Morning Rae already, make sure to subscribe so that you always know when new episodes are out, and enjoy the episode. Here's Liv. Hey, so I'm here with Liv, you're the founder, right? Yes. The founder of Liberate Studio. Welcome to Morning Rae.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. So, for the listeners that don't know who you are you, where are you from, and what is your zodiac sign?
So fun. I am an upstate New Yorker turned West Coaster. I live in LA and have for the past 5 years. And I am the founder of Liberate, which is the first mental fitness studio. Not only am I a Pisces, but I am also a Pisces rising. So I am unbelievably watery.
I love that. I don't think I have any Pisces friends. I'm a Leo, so I'm a fire sign. I don't know how well we get along because I've never met a Pisces, but I'm sure we'll get along great.
Well, my nephew is a Leo, and my sister's pregnant with baby number 2, who's also going to be a Leo. So I think we've got some good Leo Pisces energy.
Yes, I back that, and I trust you on that. So you're the founder of Liberate. Tell me how it came into existence. Like, what drew you to start Liberate?
It was really through my own experience with kind of my mental health and how I was feeling. I started having some stress and anxiety and feelings of loneliness throughout college, and was able to kind of push them aside for the most part and just continue to live my life. And then those voices and sensations got much louder after I was out of school, and I was really turning to physical fitness as a way to find community and get endorphins and like feel like I was really working on myself. But I never left a SoulCycle class or a Pilates class feeling like I had a better relationship with my anxiety, or I had more confidence, or I was able to stay in the present moment. And I recognized that all those things were really important, but I really had no idea kind of how to cultivate them. I did meditation apps on my own, and I had tried therapy, and none of those options really felt like they were hitting the mark. So I was inspired to create basically the equivalent of the SoulCycle, but for mental fitness or for mindfulness, and create that dynamic, energizing environment that we all feel like really proud to go to, but for our mind instead, which is, often super stigmatized, or like, oh, you're working on your mental health, what's wrong? Versus like, no, I'm working on mental health because that's what one does when you want to feel strong and good. There's nothing wrong with me when I go to SoulCycle, so why would there be anything wrong with me when I go to Liberate? So that was kind of the inspiration for it all about 2 years ago.
I love that. I feel like society is starting to move towards this place of destigmatizing mental health. However, I've noticed that we've gotten okay with discussing how we've healed from various lows in our mental health. For example, finding treatment for our depression and having it, I guess, like, quote unquote, like in control, or learning how to cope. Like, we know how to cope with our anxiety now, but I find that this stigmatism like still exists around dealing with it, or feeling depressed and going through that, or not being able to go outside or function really because your anxiety is so high, and being like in the thick of feeling these things and having these thought patterns. And I think Liberate is like a place that can definitely help make it more of like a normal thing to like go, whether you are low or you are like someone who says like, quote unquote, I'm fine, and you just want to work on yourself the same way you work on your physical health, you work on your mental health. It's not, you don't wait until you're at like rock bottom and have to go to the gym to work out. You do it every day to kind of like keep everything fine-tuned. So I think it's great that you're spreading that message with Liberate, that your mental health is just as important.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. Like, I don't go to the gym because I feel incredibly out of shape. I go to the gym so that I'm in great shape. And it's the same thing for, mindfulness. A lot of people like try meditation or even try journaling when they're super, super low. And you're not supposed to like try to form a new habit in the middle of a crisis. You want to proactively form these habits and build these mental muscles so that when we inevitably do go through the lows in life and get in a life rut, it doesn't feel as bad. And we feel much more capable throughout those moments because we know, well, I've been training myself to be courageous and resilient and present. So like, yeah, this isn't a great moment for me, but I know I'm going to be okay because I'm super strong mentally. And I definitely didn't feel like that for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So say I come to Liberate. Tell me what you have to offer. What sort of classes can I attend? What does like a class look like? What will one experience? Kind of give me like the elevator sales pitch.
I'll give you the whole rundown. So Liberate is, just like we said, the studio for your mind. And right now, everything we do is virtual. So you can come to a live class or a live workshop over Zoom, or you can take a class through our on-demand library. So you could practice anytime, anywhere. And what's really unique about Liberate is our method. So the Liberate method is an intention setting introduction. So you come into the class and you have a chance to say, okay, what am I coming in with? What do I want to get rid of? Is it anxiety? Is it stress? Is it anger? Like, what am I dealing with? How do I feel right now? Who am I right now? And then once we get that out of the way, then we can set our intentions for what we want to create throughout the session, whether it's 10 minutes or 60 minutes or anything in between. We are aligning ourselves with our goals and telling ourselves, all right, we're going to feel a little bit happier after this, or we're going to feel a little bit more calm. And even just starting that placebo effect just through setting the intention. And then we do mindful movement, which is either light sun salutation yoga or gentle seated stretching, depending on the class that you're in, to help us connect our mind and body and breath as one, get into a grounded place. And then we'll journal, which I know you're a huge journaler, and we're the only studio that uses journaling as an exercise. There are so many benefits for your mind and body from the practice. So we have a totally guided journaling experience. It's great for all levels. And then we hold space for us to all connect as a community and reflect together, whether you want to share verbally or over the Zoom chat, or you're just going to kind of reflect with yourself. We always hold space for connection in that way. And then the entire practice is grounded with a meditation so that we can kind of tee ourselves up to be comfortable in stillness. A lot of people are like, I can't meditate, I can't sit still. It's like a nightmare. It's so intimidating, so uncomfortable. Okay, amazing. So that's totally fair. But like, you're moving a million miles a minute in life, and then
I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and This is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and estro control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
All of a sudden ask yourself to sit down and not do anything. And that is really hard to go from 100 to 0. But what we do in class is we start with the movement and then we start journaling. So we're slowing down and then we just put the pen down. So it's like this transition to stillness and calm. So you leave feeling super capable, and meditation is one of the most favored parts of our classes. And most people who come to class don't meditate on their own because we guarantee a more positive experience with this meditation versus if you just went into it cold turkey on a meditation app. And that's the class. Everybody can, stay later and hang out and chat if it's a live class, and if it's on demand, it's however long that session is there. But it's a really great practice that's just as dynamic and energizing as a physical fitness workout, but you leave feeling mentally stronger.
I love that. And I love how the class gradually calms down to kind of invite you into meditation because, like you said, a lot of people are scared of it. I don't think I'm scared of it. I think I'm in the headspace that it's not for me, but I also haven't given it good enough of a shot. I think the closest I've got into meditation is when I practice visualization. So normally I'll lie on my back with my feet up against the wall. I'm sure you know that elevated leg pose, and I'll just close my eyes and I put all my devices away, nothing's there, and I kind of just let myself go into my thoughts, and then I guess I guide myself in visualizing how I want my future to look. And envision that I'm living it now and what type of feelings I want to be feeling, what I want to be seeing, who I want to be there. And I kind of get into a meditative state. I kind of wake up in a haze after that. That's probably the closest that I get to that.
First of all, I also know you love manifesting. So you're manifesting those moments as well as meditating. But that's my thing with meditation. I'm a meditation teacher, a mindfulness teacher, but it's not one size fits all. Some people aren't down to sit and meditate no matter how many times they try. So you can go for a nature walk, you can journal, you can color, you can sit with your legs up a wall. There's no one size fits all with meditation, and wherever you can go and whatever you can do to find inner stillness and calm and presence, that's meditation. The goal with meditation is for us to get to a point where we're meditating through life. I don't just sit down on a cushion every morning. Everything I do all day long, I'm in a meditative state. That's, the goal and the practice. So for anyone listening, know that there's no right or wrong way to do it.
If you were to give three tips to a listener on how to go about being more mindful and maybe starting their meditative practice, what would they be?
Oh man, good question. Building habits is really helpful for anything, especially mindfulness. So if you want to explore practice, whether it's meditation or journaling or a meditative walk every day, try to do it every day, even if it's just for 1 minute, even if it's I'm going to eat a meal without watching my phone, watching an episode on my phone or looking at Instagram. try to do that for at least a week. We give a challenge in every Liberate class, and typically it's like, do this for the next 7 days, because after 7 days, while you haven't totally formed a habit yet, you're starting to build momentum and you're starting to create a natural pattern for yourself within that. So you can start super small, I guess is one tip. Start small, start with like a minute. And then the second tip is to do it consistently. Try to do it for a week at the same time or the same general time every day. See how you feel after 7 days, and you can adjust as you need to. And I'm huge proponent of like getting a buddy in it. So telling your friend, let's try to meditate for the next week and see what happens. Or let's go for a walk every day after work for the next week and call each other. So like we're in it together, because community is really everything at Liberate. And I felt super alone with my, mental lows and with my mindfulness practice, and was kind of exploring all these things on my own because I didn't know what else to do. But it can feel a little bit like a lonely journey at times, and you have no idea if what you're doing is right or wrong. So if you can find a buddy to do it with you, it'll help you stay on track.
I love that. And to backtrack a little bit, I always find this question interesting. Did you see yourself when you're younger working in the career field that you work now, or what was something that you did see yourself doing if it wasn't this?
I always said always, I guess in college and in high school, I said I wanted to manage the marketing of like a philanthropic company, or a company that had some type of give back component. My dream was Tom's, because Tom's was so cool when I was in high school.
Oh my God, Tom's.
It was so cool back then. I still love them, but like, the shoes were it when I was, 15. So that was my original goal. And I studied marketing in school, and that background has helped me a ton. But a lot of the roles I had after school were kind of sucked the life out of me, and felt, I think marketing can feel like a little bit manipulative depending on what you're marketing. And I wanted to be working on something that I really believed in, and like truly to my core believe that would help everyone. And that's how I feel about mental fitness and mindfulness and Liberate and the whole bang. So it's definitely not what I would have. I don't think I was chill enough to meditate when I was like 7 or even 15. I think I had way too much angst in me, but I've since chilled out while building the practice for sure.
I love that. I'm studying marketing right now, and I can definitely like see in my friends that have certain jobs like in sales and marketing, and it's literally like sucking the life out of them. I'm like, you don't have to do this. Like, you can go and find a career. It can be marketing. It doesn't have to necessarily be for like a big corporation. Like, you can find something that's more fulfilling to you and utilize those skills and take a career path that may not necessarily be the typical career path. I mean, I'm not taking a typical career path. I work pretty much for myself, and I work for a social media agency, which is a startup. I've always been a huge fan of working for startups. I love having that autonomy and knowing that what I'm doing is making an impact and seeing that direct impact. How have you transitioned into working for yourself from working for other people? What was that transition like? And do you have any advice for someone who may be looking to go out and chase after something that they think will fulfill them better?
Yeah. It was definitely a transition. And to be clear, like, there's nothing wrong with working for a company and doing marketing. If that fulfills you, that's amazing. And maybe you're fulfilled by like leading and managing a team. For me, I always knew I wanted to work for myself, and I was basically just patiently waiting for the idea to come to me. And once the idea came to me, I was like, okay, this is it. See you later. So that part was pretty easy. I think what was most important to me was not to like put myself in a hole where I wasn't able to support Liberate and give Liberate what she needs, because, I didn't make any money, or like I had to, kind of rejigger other areas of my life, and I wasn't like necessarily being responsible with decision making. So I didn't leave my full-time job until I had freelance gigs and marketing lined up, so that I wasn't putting pressure on this new baby business of mine to like support my living. I was doing that because I was passionate about it and I believe in the long end game, but I was also, able to use the existing skill set that I had to pay the bills. So you don't have to do it that way. You can totally just take the leap and like the bridge will be built under you as you're jumping, I believe. But it definitely gave me a lot more peace of mind knowing I'm not just like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent next month. Like I had, the next 3 months, let's say, covered. And from there, you can figure it out. But I'd say have like, if you could have like a babysitting gig or a freelance job with whatever you studied in school, anything that gives you like a little bit of a cushion or a little bit of peace of mind, like, okay, I have one source of income, even if it's not huge or even if it's not enough, something's better than nothing in my opinion. And then I would just honestly give it time to make sure that's what you really want to do. There's a lot of entrepreneurs who have a really great idea and then after a year decide they want to do something else, or they lose the passion for it. It fizzles out, or they get into a roadblock. And so they're like, I don't know if this is really it for me right now. And just by like exercising patience and kind of playing the waiting game, you can see if the fire starts burning more or if it fizzles out. And that eliminates some of the risk of leaving in the first place. For me, it just got louder and louder. I like couldn't even hear anyone else talking. So I knew I had to go do it. And honestly, like if you think you're ready, you're ready. I don't want to tell anybody to quit their job without a backup plan, but especially when you're young, like now's the time to take risks. And if it doesn't work out, you could probably find another job or you can make something work. But I'm a pretty big risk taker. So that would be my advice, to do so wisely. And after full judgment of the scenario, don't blame me if something goes wrong. But if you believe in yourself, I think that's the most important thing.
Like my plan right now is to do both of the career paths because I feel like they're two separate things for as long as I can. And then I know I want to work for myself one day. I just don't know with what. I don't want to just be like a quote unquote influencer. Like I want to have some sort of business, something to actually like do and grow, and not just me as a brand. I want something that's scalable and reliable. But that idea hasn't come to me yet. So I'm going to continue to work until I can't balance the two anymore. And then I'll take that jump of faith. But I've seen quite a few of my friends have done it and it's amazing. And they're so much happier now. But also like, no, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, everyone's trying to be an entrepreneur, should I be an entrepreneur? You don't have to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is designed or wants to be an entrepreneur. Some people like the knowing of going to a job from 9 to 5, and outside of that, they don't have to really worry about anything, or they do exactly what they're told, and that's it, and they're happy with that and they're content with that. Don't feel this pressure of like this growing entrepreneurship that's like occurring on TikTok and Instagram and everything, that you should feel pressured to go out and do it because you have to do what's best for you, not what's trending.
Totally. And I don't know how everybody makes it seem so fun and cool. Maybe it's because we're like watching people who are, have been doing it for 20 years. So they're already a huge success, but it's not like, I wouldn't say, oh, this is super easy or it's so fun. I do feel more fulfilled in it and I enjoy my day-to-day more than I did working for someone else. But that's a personal thing. Some people are going to have hives all over their body with the fact that they have no one to tell them what to do or when to work or how to fix things. There's, I think a time and a place for like both roles in my life too. It's not to say I'll never work for anyone else again, but it's definitely like a glamorized space. So I just want to keep it real. It's like not, it's great, but it's not a walk in the park at all.
Yeah, and at first you're literally going to be doing everything. Like I came out with merch and we had tech issues. I'm IT. We have customer service complaints or concerns. I'm customer service. Like you are everything. You have to learn to be comfortable with that if you choose to go down that route. Eventually you'll be able to delegate and hire out, but you're going to be doing everything and it's not super glamorous all the time. Yes, I can make it seem super pretty and aesthetic on social media, but behind the scenes, there's stress, there's negotiating, there's hitting deadlines, there's things going wrong, and that's in any business.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't think people are as quick to post failures on Instagram as we are to post the wins, which is fine. We don't need to air our dirty laundry, but it still exists.
Yes. Okay. So I'm a huge morning routine and night routine advocate. Walk us through I guess let's go through your whole day. What does your day look like inclusive of those routines?
It's a pretty intense morning. I will just preface that now. Morning is like my sacred time, my holy time. It is without a doubt my most important time of the day, I would say. So I wake up pretty early, maybe like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. I don't even know if that's early. And I meditate in bed for about 10 minutes, and then I'll move to my cushion and I'll meditate for another 15, 20 minutes. And then I'll do some emails, have matcha and a snack, like a little breakfast bar or something. And then I'll do my workout. So that's typically yoga every day. I do different workouts on Peloton, like strength workouts, or I'll go for a run and just spend honestly up to 3 hours totally on me, like reading the newsletters I like to read, taking care of my mind, taking care of my body, having breakfast. And then I finish that probably around 9 a.m. And from there, it's just work throughout the entire day until 9 or 10 p.m. I try to take like a break to go for a walk during the day, or if a friend calls me, I have a lot of friends on opposite coasts, so I'll always try to pick up if I can. And we do a lot of like B2B classes at Liberate. We do a lot of corporate classes to support team building and things like that. So I have a lot of calls with corporate clients or potential corporate clients. We're doing a lot of different updates to our on-demand library, so we'll work with that. And we have 4 class leaders and 2 interns at this point at Liberate, so I'm checking in with them weekly too, and we're having different calls and checking in on the projects that they're working on. Then at night, normally I'll eat like a peanut butter and jelly for dinner. I'm super lame with cooking. I don't cook at all. And then I'll turn on like Formula One documentary on Netflix that I'm obsessed with, or New Girl in the background, and I'll work on my freelance work as kind of more of like decompressing time in front of the TV. I try to turn off the TV before going directly to bed. Don't go on TikTok. I try not to go on TikTok before bed
It's
either.
so hard.
So hard. But then all of a sudden it's like 2 hours. So I really try not to go on before bed. I'll try to read a book or journal or something, and then I pass out and I do it all over again.
I love it. I love how everyone has like a routine that works for themselves. And it's so interesting to have a little sneak peek into them.
It really is. Like, some people couldn't care less about the morning or about, doing physical workouts throughout the day at all. And for me, when I prioritize my morning, it's like no matter how late I work at night or no matter what stress comes up throughout the workday, I'm pretty even keeled because I made sure I was good to go by 9 o'clock and like really took care of myself first. So it works for me, but not everybody wants to work till 10. So it just kind of depends on what works for you.
Yeah, I find that I'm able to set myself up for success when I'm able to have a morning routine. It doesn't always have to be 3 hours. Like mine is pretty much 3 hours too. It's nice when it is, but I always have like my non-negotiables. So at least a walk if I don't have time for a workout. If it's raining, then just some sort of movement, having breakfast or a snack. Journaling really helps. I've honestly have fallen out of journaling since I was sick with COVID back in March, but I'm trying to get back into it because I really do notice a difference now that I'm not doing it every morning. It's like working out. You get gradually stronger, and if you stop, you're going to feel really weak the next time you go back. And I start to realize, like, when I go through extended periods of time, this is probably like the longest since I've started journaling, that my mental health isn't as like peak as like I would like it to be, but that's okay. We're all human, we're a work in progress, and that's also why I go to therapy to help prevent those breakdowns that could happen. It's all about being proactive and being aware of how you're feeling both mentally and physically. And I think that Liberate is like working towards making more individuals aware of taking care of their mental health on a daily basis, or at least a more regular basis. And I think it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I feel the same way. Like if I don't journal or if I don't do yoga, like if you don't do anything for a little bit, you feel kind of out of sorts and it takes you a second to find your rhythm. So My goal is for health to be multidimensional. I'm not saying you can only journal and you can't, do push-ups and you have to pick one or the other, but my goal is just, if we're investing in our physical well-being, we should also be investing in our mental well-being, because that's how we're going to feel our best. We can't just focus on one aspect of our lives and expect to feel, holistically better. So I'm excited to have you in a class soon.
Yes, I would love to. And we're going to wrap things up. If the listeners only take one thing away from this episode, what would it be?
I think to find your own flow, whatever that means to you, and don't second guess it. Because if something feels good to you, it feels good to you, and it doesn't really matter if everybody's doing it completely differently.
I love that. And plug yourself out. Where can the listeners find you, Liberate, sign up, all the good stuff?
You can find us. It's at Liberate Studio on Instagram, and then liberatestudio.com. If you want to join a class, you can join through the website. And we also do free meditations on IG Live every Friday, which are saved in our feed after. So if you just kind of want to dip your toe into mindfulness, you can always check out one of those.
I love that. And everything will be linked in the show notes. So if you weren't sure or missed anything, you can definitely go click on there and be taken right to their Instagram, their website, whichever you please. Thank you so much, Liv, for coming on. It was a pleasure having you on. And I can't wait to try out some classes from Liberate. And if you're listening to this, this is your little hint and nudge to go try out some too. Thank you so much for listening to Morning Rae. Please rate, review, and subscribe, as it really helps support the pod. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.